Hello, welcome back to my final video. It's the one that I've been talking about all week. It's the World Cup quiz, and I hope you enjoy this video. Right, how this is going to work. Right, I'll tell you. Firstly, there'll be 20 questions. Then tomorrow I will give you the questions with the answers. Then each question is worth 1 point. If it's a two-part question, it's a 3 points you get for the question. Okay, I think you're with me at the moment. And then I'll be posting up on the community post board on YouTube with the points tally and how you fared. So if you want to work out how well you did, just work out the questions you got, work out the points, and then you'll get the levels. I was thinking of putting little jokes there, you know, sort of you're at the wrong party and stuff like that. We'll see how it goes. I think you know what I mean. Bit of cynicism. Right, okay then. So shall we begin then? I think I've given you enough time to get a pen or pencil, paper, so you'll have your answers ready. Okay then, the first question of the 20. Who won the first World Cup in 1930? Who won the first World Cup in 1930? Question 2. When was the first time extra time was used in a World Cup final? When was the first time extra time was used in a World Cup final to settle a match? Right, question 3. When did Scotland make their World Cup appearance, their debut? When did Scotland make their first ever World Cup appearance? Debut, appearance, same thing. Right, moving on to question 4. This is a two-part question. Which famous Dutch footballer who played in the World Cup final for Holland, and also, not only that, I want to know the name of his son that ended up playing for Manchester United in the 90s. So I'll repeat that again if you didn't quite get that. Which famous Dutch footballer played in the World Cup final for Holland, and what was the name of his son that played for Manchester United in the 1990s? Right, moving on. This is also a two-part question. Are you ready? Right. Who knocked out England as the defending world champions at the quarter-final stage in 1970? And can you name me all the scorers of that match? I don't think you need to repeat that. I think best thing to do is watch this video again and you'll get the questions again, won't you? So anyway, so I want to sort of move on. Right, question 6. Who was the oldest player in history at the age of 40 to lift the World Cup as captain? Who was the oldest player at the age of 40 to lift the World Cup as captain? Right, moving on to question 7. This is a true or false answer. In 1909 and 1911, British representative West Auckland Town won the first 2 World Cups. This is before the Jules Rimet in 1930. Did they actually have a World Cup when they had all the teams from different nations, from Germany, Holland, Switzerland, club levels representing the countries? Is it true or false? Did West Auckland, did they represent Britain at all? And did they play in those 2 World Cups? I'll give you the answer to that tomorrow. Right, moving on. Question 8. Name me the 2 players who won the World Cup for Argentina and also won an FA Cup with a British team. Name me the 2 players who won the World Cup with Argentina and also won the FA Cup with a British team. Right, moving on to question 9. Which team in history of the World Cup scored 10 goals in one of the group games? In other words, which team scored 10 goals in one game in a World Cup, in an opening match, in a group match? Okay? There is a record, and that is it. It hasn't been beaten or surpassed since, or even equalled. Okay, so I'll repeat that again, just in case you didn't get it. Which team in history of the World Cup, in the World Cup, scored 10 goals in one of the group games they were playing? I'm not going to give you a clue on that one. Right, question 10. Which was the last British player to win the Golden Boot Award at the World Cup? Which was the last British player to win a Golden Boot Award at the World Cup? Question 11. Which teams have scored the most goals in World Cup finals, in the World Cup finals from 1930 to 2022? Which teams have scored the most goals in the World Cup finals, not the final, but the finals, from 1930 to 2022? Right, question 12. In England's 1966 winning team, which player scored the most goals? In England's 1966 winning team, which player from the England team scored the most goals? Right, we're moving on to question 13. Here we go, unlucky for some. Which England player scored by a volley, scored through by a volley? I think you understand that, you know, like on the volley, bang, in the net. I'll say that again one more time. Which England player scored on a volley past the Belgian goalkeeper with seconds to go in the 1990 last 16 knockout stage? I'll say that one more time. Which England player scored on the volley past the Belgian goalkeeper with seconds to go in the 1990 last 16 knockout stage? Right. Question 14. Which team from these four teams defeated the then host nation, Spain, back in 1982? They won 1-0. I'm going to repeat the question again because it wasn't clear, was it? Which team from these four teams defeated the then host nation Spain in 1982? They won 1-0. Now, which of these four was it? I'll just tell you now. England, Scotland, Wales, or was it Northern Ireland? Question 15. When was the last time a host nation, Mexico, staged the World Cup? That's a nice easy one. As they're hosting it now, they also hosted it twice, but I want to know when the last time they hosted it. The first time was 1970, so there's a big giveaway. So it's between 1970 and 2026. Right, okay. I'm coming to the end of the quiz. Here we go. Question 16. When was the last time a penalty shootout decided the World Cup final? When was the last time a penalty shootout decided the World Cup final? Question 17. When was the last time England beat Argentina in the World Cup? Right, moving on to question 18. In the World Cup 94, which famous singer opened the proceedings for the World Cup, took a penalty and missed? I'll say that again just in case. In the World Cup of 1994, which famous singer opened the proceedings for the World Cup, took a penalty and missed? Was it A, Whitney Houston? Was it B, Barbra Streisand? Was it C, Diana Ross? Or was it D, Mariah Carey? Right, question 19. Which player scored a hat-trick against Brazil in 1982 World Cup? I'll say that again. Which player scored a hat-trick against Brazil in the 1982 World Cup? And finally, we've got there, question 20. How many World Cups have there been? And the clue is from 1930 onwards, so you do the maths. How many World Cups have there been since 1930? Right, I'll have the answers for you tomorrow. The questionnaire has run out of questions. Right, so you've had 20 questions. The answers will be given in the video tomorrow that I will be doing. I will do the questions again and with the answers this time. I also will, like I said, post it up on the board, and so you can see how well you've done with your points tally. I'll post it up tomorrow, don't worry. And basically, I just want to tell you about tomorrow. It's my final World Cup countdown on the groups. I'll be looking at Group L. That's England's group. Also, I'll be finishing off the second part of this World Cup quiz, and then later on, because it's the World Cup 2026 is underway, I'll be doing my final score. Instead, I'll be calling it World Cup Final Score, and that'll be followed by sports reports. Okay, so anyway, that is it for tonight. I hope you've enjoyed all my videos I posted out. I tried to be a little bit professional if I can, but I doubt it. And don't forget, this Saturday, this Sunday, I've got Lee's Hobby Corner, as well as other stuff going on. So don't miss that at all. I've got a few boxing tips to show you in my Hobbies Corner. Last week I did the Dalek thing. The week before I did the harmonica thing. So anyway, it just remains for me to say, have a nice evening, what's left of it. I'll see you tomorrow for a great day of sport. Until then, bye for now.